Alright, this is Andrew with Jordan Home Inspections. Today is July 26, 2023. We're doing a sewer scope. We're at 1715 East Yale Ave. And we have the camera pushed out 111 feet to the city connection. And now we're going to pull it back and record it and see what we find. So this first connection point is called the nose-on. This is where it goes from your lateral line into the main city line. Looks like a decent connection there. Right off the bat, here's an example of an offset. This is a spot where the pipes have slipped a little bit and become a little disconnected, and it creates that lip that you can see on the right hand side of the pipe. That lip is a spot where waste could potentially get caught and create a blockage, and that could lead to an offset. You have another one right there. Both of those are relatively minor to moderate. This one you can see where waste is already collecting on that bottom lip, kind of causing a little bit of standing water. So far it looks like you have some clay pipe. There's a pretty good size offset there. Also some roots coming through. I would recommend getting this line hydro jetted. Pretty good size lip there. You can see as my camera goes down the line, it gets stuck right on that lip, and I have to push before it finally shoots down. Waste is going to have that same issue where it's going to get stuck there. You can see how already there's a bunch of standing water. When you have standing water, oil is more likely to collect and grease, and that can kind of cause a sticky spot where waste can also get stuck there. The only way to fix an offset is to dig it up and re-slope it. This one, not only is there a little bit of an offset, but it looks like the pipes have walked away from each other a tiny bit. When pipes separate, water can get through, and that can cause settling issues. More roots. I'd recommend getting this line hydro jetted. Blast out all the roots, and then it's less likely to have a backup. This is an access point here, probably out in the front yard somewhere. I didn't see it outside. I didn't do the inspection here, so I haven't walked around the entire perimeter or really spent much time outside, but just walking up to the door, I don't recall seeing one. But a lot of times, if you wanted access to it, you could have it located, and then they could dig up the pipe. More roots. So I noticed is that I pushed the camera out. Since we're past that clean out, there's a good chance that we're under the slab now. You have standing water. It's enough that it's covering my camera head, even with the skid on my camera. The skid helps push my camera out, but it also elevates above the bottom part of the pipe. You have enough standing water that it's covering the camera head. When you have standing water, that's a sign that you have improper grade. The only way to fix bad grade is to dig it up and re-slope it. You can see waste swirling around in front of the camera head. We can't see much through this area. Now we're starting to pull out of it. So I have to go back in the video. Once I am done recording, I can see when that belly started. I think it was somewhere around 60 feet, so probably about a 20-foot belly. And to fix those, you don't just dig up 20 feet. You usually have to dig up beyond each end of it so that you can catch the grade. I would recommend getting this line cleaned and then definitely getting the insurance on it. There's another good size offset there. Getting the insurance would be good so that if and when it is time to replace this line, they can help offset that cost. This is cast iron that you're seeing on the screen. As you can see, cast iron gets real rough and rusty. Eventually it will need to be replaced. You want to avoid putting wet wipes or feminine hygiene products down the line. I did not find an access point here other than removing the toilet. I did find a small access behind the sink or behind the toilet area, but it's just looks like an 1.5 inch cap, 1.5 inch or 2 inch cap. I would have tried going through there, except that the baseboard was covering the cap, and so if you were to back the cap off, it's going to hit the bottom part of the baseboard, which prevents it from coming off. So just to recap, you have several different types of pipes. You have a lot of clay, and then you have a little bit of cast iron. With the clay, you had several offsets where the pipes have separated, and you have a handful of lips on the offsets. Already, some waste is collecting around some of the offsets. That could potentially lead to backups in the future. You have a fair amount of cast iron, which is very rough and rusty. I would say typical for the age. It's not like this cast iron looks worse here than it does in other areas of the same age, but it is cast, so it gets real rough. I would recommend getting the line cleaned. You have a handful of roots. Having hydrojetted, you could blast out all those roots, and then also I would definitely get the insurance on the line. Probably biggest concern is that you have a belly where it was holding water enough that it was covering my camera head. When you have a belly, the only way to fix it permanently is to dig it up and re-slope it. If you clean it, that could help a little bit to prevent a blockage, but it's still going to hold water, and so waste is still going to have to kind of sit in the pipe until water can lift it up and flush it out. So it's kind of unpredictable on if it would cause a backup or when. I would definitely recommend the insurance on this line if you don't proactively repair the line. I'm going to end this recording now.